Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. Back after a short-ish stint of paternity leave. Well, it seems short to me. It may well have seemed like an age to you guys, but yeah, if you were wondering where I've been, you're clearly not a fan of the Facebook page. I've alerted all my followers there to what was going on. It's a great way, guys, if you're wondering why a cast isn't materializing on any particular day. I usually put some lame excuse in as to where I've been, so it allows you to just get an idea, you know, of what's going on. Program your schedule in accordingly. But yes, 1st of June, baby arrived safely. All very exciting stuff. And for those of you who have no experience in the parenting field and are wondering what it's like, well, I can honestly say, to quote Frank Buffet Jr. from Friends, it feels like I haven't slept in 4 years. So you'll forgive me today if I'm a little out of sorts, if I'm looking at a hoplite, for instance, and instead of saying the word hoplite, I refer to it as a potato. You can rest assured in the knowledge that you probably understood what I meant, so cut me some slack. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But what's even more interesting, it's going to be a custom 1v1 today on Monarchy, or Monarchy, one of the 3 new maps I've been begging for more replays on so we can showcase. And as you can imagine, I'm pretty disconnected from the community right now, so I have no news or information to bring you at the beginning of this one, so we can go straight to the action. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. So Monarchy, or Monarchy, I'm going to be saying that quite a lot. We shall take a look at your curves and edges in just a moment. First of all, let's take a look at our players over here on the far left in regal purple. It's none other than theeggroll, and he is going as Cybrin, opening first land. And his opponent on the other side of the map in his very customary baby pink, it's none other than Aulex, and he is also going Cybrin, so it's a mirror matchup first land. So take a quick look at what's going on here with the map. So it's a 1v1 map, 2 starting locations crossing the horizon in the center of the map there. We've got a civilian base which is full of reclaims. So these structures actually don't offer up as much reclaim as you would expect, but it's still worth grabbing if you can get there in time. A couple of mexes around there as well, and importantly as well, no civilian PDs to worry about, so you can just get an NG straight over there and get busy, assuming you're not going to run into any interference from your opponent, of course. And then you've got these little walled off plateau edges, which Speed is a huge fan of now. He seems to be putting them on just about every map. And only way to get to that mex, of course, is by dropping it. I don't think you could do a distance build. You might potentially be able to do a distance build there, actually, but we'll see what happens with that. Might be another way to go with it. Then, of course, you've got these large, kind of cavernous mountain ranges, these little pockets here, which protect a couple of hydros in each one, well, one in each, and then a couple of mexes in each one. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's a little bit different. I can't think of any other maps that are laid out anywhere near to this kind of fashion. You don't often see, in fact, this kind of midpoint setup of the 2 starting locations. So it's usually Sopcom. It's more of a corner-based game, or at least a vertical-based game for the 1v1 maps. But it's going to be interesting. So let's take a look at what these guys have been doing. So Eggroll went 2nd air, and then he's getting 3rd and 4th land. Aulex went 2nd land, is going to go 3rd air, so a little bit of a difference on that one. What's coming out of this air factory? Well, Eggroll is going straight for some early harass, 67% done on a bomber there, and climbing. How's he doing on power on that side of things? Well, not great. He should be able to get that bomber out before he bottlenecks. There we go. So power instantly recovers, and as a result, not going to suffer any eco or mass penalty, I should say, from that. We've got Mantis coming across the map on both sides from Aulex, so he's ploughing more effort into the ground game, of course. He started work on his air factory. In comes this bomber. Now this is interesting, of course. A lot of matches you'd expect the ACU to leave the base and get on with harass. Aulex has stuck firm, keeping that extra build capacity in the base. Bomber picking up just a single NG there, but maybe thinking, well, why is he sticking around going for power? Well, it's going to be really easy with all that extra build capacity for Aulex to throw together some anti-air. Having said that, he's still not doing it. Instead, he's going to go straight for an interceptor. 50% done on that already. That bomber's still working its magic. Just 2 kills on it so far, though. That's not going to be enough to take down that mech. And here we go, straight off the conveyor belt. A prowler into the air. Will that bomber be able to pick up anything else, I wonder? And now we are indeed seeing a tracer being constructed in the center, and Eggroll announcing in local chat that he's not a huge fan of his decision to go second air and get that early bomber out. Hasn't made it pay. And now if we go over to the other side of the map, we can see he's under a little bit of pressure. Of course, he's kept his ACU in that main base of his as well, so he's not having any problems on the southern entrance, and that seems to be where most of the ground base forces from Aulex are coming from. Few little ones were up here, but they've been taken care of. Actually, Eggroll not doing too badly. Aulex ahead on eco, but in terms of firepower on the ground and general map control, not looking too bad at the beginning of this one. Just a couple of mass between these two on generated eco so far. That might change, though. We have got an engineer coming into the center for Aulex. We'll see what his orders are laid up for that, but he's coming straight in to get those 2 mexes, and then an attack order in the center, no doubt hoping that it will switch to get some reclaim from that. What would you call that? I don't know. Strange circle of mountains. There's got to be a name for it. Someone answers on a postcard, if you will, guys. What you reckon this little pocket or enclosure? There's got to be a term for it. In fact, I think I know that there's a term for it, but I just don't actually have a functioning brain right now. Operating on about 3 hours sleep a night will do that. But Mantis engaged in combat in the center, and in fact Aulex has taken his ACU right out of his base and is moving towards the center of the map. Interesting move command there, taking it right to the corner. That was obviously only temporary, and now he's actually being a little bit ballsy. He's going to come out and try and grab that mech, which is definitely over the midpoint there, so encroaching on Eggroll's territory a little bit. Meanwhile, Eggroll taking the southern side of the map, had started work on that mass extractor, but got distracted for some reason, has moved his ACU away from it. But now Eggroll might want to think about repositioning. Mantis up the top getting punished by Aulex's ACU. Aulex did manage to pick up that mech. And we're going to be looking at some kind of base trade here, potentially. Eggroll marching on towards Aulex's base. He's going to stop to pick up that mech, but a move command has been issued. But 1 unit of build capacity, assisted by Mantis, throws up together an auto gun nice and quickly. And of course, nothing but Mantis on this section of the field there for Eggroll. No Medusas in that mix, so T1 PD going to be a little bit of a chore for him to chew through. Aulex literally knocking on the door, though. No such issues for his ACU at the front of the Eggroll's base. And if he was feeling really gutsy, he could get in there. Let's take a look at what he can actually see. Well, he has had a few flybys, so he's seen what there is on offer, but not feeling like going full Rambo just yet. Eggroll looking to reposition now, moving his troops back in towards the center of the field. One lone engineer there from Aulex trying to cut off the entrance into this little mountain pocket here. Another auto gun up top there for Aulex. So slowly but surely, Aulex are locking down sections of the map, and the Eggroll's really going to have to start throwing some T1 light artillery into the mix here if he's going to be able to open up these sections of the map. But Aulex dropping back with his ACU now into the center. Doesn't want to yield control of that to his opponent. Got a Mantis on the ground there. Does he have access to overcharge? No, he doesn't. Still sitting at the 4,000 total power mark at full bar. Some reinforcements coming in for him as well. Both of these ACUs still unupgraded as we approach 8 minutes in this one so far. Slight advantage in HP for the Eggroll, but not a great deal in it as Aulex just drops down into the yellow there. 7,000 hit points left on him. Eggroll on 8,600.
Commander under attack.
But Aulex does have this fallback position in place. Having said that, we are starting to see some T1 artillery now on the field there for the Eggroll. So keep those alive. And out of range the ACU or the other Mantis, he should be able to deal with the T1 PD, but Aulex is not giving him the breathing room to do that. Eggroll now down to 5,300 HP. Aulex on 5,200. So that advantage we saw from him a little bit earlier has dissipated. And Aulex transitioning nicely into a little bit of airplay there. Jester out from him. Surprised he's got the power to do that. Well, he actually doesn't. He's now bottlenecking himself on power.
Commander under attack.
And he's still only 3 mass behind generated eco from the Eggroll with that bottleneck, so he should be ahead once he gets his power situation sorted out. I think he just has. Suddenly it jumps to 21 to 19. But that Jester really doesn't last too long at all. The Eggroll very quick with his prowlers to get them in there and remove that threat. All in all, though, pretty even game in this one. Aulex desperately needs to sort out his power situation. You can see he's doing that. He's even building T1 P-gens up front where his ACU is. Sometimes you just have to build at the location where you've got build capacity. You can't wait for somewhere more sensible. Yet more T1 PDs going down, though, from Aulex. He's literally littering the map with them now. So we've got one down here, one in there, although that has now been destroyed. 2 up here and 1 up the top. I'd be surprised if that's allowed to complete, though. We do have some moles in there for the Eggroll. And that has been spotted. So denied. And the mechs that it was guarding is not going to survive either. Nice little run by down the bottom, though, from Aulex, and potentially an open door here. You could pick up 1 or 2 of these mexes, and if you get into the base, might be able to kill a few things. But level of development in there for the Eggroll, very light indeed. There seems to be a lot more going on for Aulex. He's got a lot more production. Eggroll on 4,900, Aulex on 5,200. Perhaps slightly more on the ground for the Eggroll, but T2 as well. So the Eggroll, that's where he's been putting his eco. He's dumped it into a T2 HQ. There we go. And he's got hoplites joining the fray, and that really could tip the balance. Eggroll now pummeling Aulex's ACU, who seems to have overextended himself a little bit. This could be close. 2,900 hit points and falling. He's got a couple of units coming in to reinforce, but it's not a great deal. He has got these units of T1 PD to fall back to, but the hoplite shells coming in now as well. Down into the red, 1,700 hit points, but a nice rank of veterancy restores some HP and gets him back up into the yellow, at least for the moment. There are more hoplites up here, though, near the ACU as well. Aulex, this could be a little bit of a mistake. Is he actually paying attention? He needs to be overcharging these if he can. Does he actually have access to it? Yes, he does. Oh, this is not looking good. Down to 1,000 hit points and below 800, 700. And a wave of Mantis comes to his rescue in the nick of time. Aulex playing very fast and loose with the health on his ACU. At 1,100 hit points and climbing that Cybran regen coming to assist him. But the tides have turned on the bottom meanwhile a little bit. Not a great deal going on down here. But with a few Medusas coming in, that T1 PD has been knocked out, and that could be a kill on the Hydro if Aulex doesn't reposition some of his ground forces to take out these Medusas. Definitely doesn't want to lose that, not with all of the power issues he's been having. If we go back up to the top, look at the amount of hoplites that the egg roll is now accruing in the center there. Aulex trying to negate the lost HP by grabbing a quick upgrade, the T2 upgrade on his comm there. Question is, will that be allowed to finish, what with these hoplites knocking on the front door? And indeed, those Medusas have taken out that Hydrocarbon. If we take a look at Aulex's eco, well, he's got his head above water just 48 positive power. He's at full bar still as well. But there are still 3 hostile Mantis in his base, and if he's not careful, they could stroll right up there and start hammering those engineers trying to rebuild that Hydro. Meanwhile, Aulex only at about 55-60% done on that upgrade. And those hoplites and now this large band of Mantis are getting awfully close. And Aulex forced to cancel the T2 upgrade, won't be getting that HP buff, that access to T2 on the comm, and of course throwing away all of the resources that he plowed into that at just about the worst time. And now Aulex losing that forward position, it would seem. He's got an HQ up front, and he could be about to lose that. Down goes another energy storage. And was that his only one? Yes, it was. So he's now lost access to overcharge as well. This is very nice sustained pressure here from the egg roll. Almost think he should just focus on Aulex's comm now. He's lost overcharge. Don't worry about that factory. Aulex pushing out down the center of his base, but his top section of the map is just crumbling now. 15 minutes gone in this one, and suddenly out of nowhere, the egg roll forcing Aulex back onto his side of the map. Aulex down to around 4,300 HP. He's got 74 points on that comm in terms of kills, and that translates to 3 stars of veterancy currently. Meanwhile, a little bit of a counter push down at the bottom. Mech survives for a little bit, but another couple of Mantis coming in from behind managed to kill it off. But 1 or 2 Rhinos stationed out front. Just need a little bit of repositioning. That should be enough to seal that off. And you can see, I can't see any engineers airlifted up there, so that must have been a distance build. Pretty sure those corner places can be got to. And again, no engineer lurking around on top. And I haven't seen any transports kicking around the map either, so that must be possible to reach that. Taking a look at what Aulex has been building. So he's going for another T2 HQ, this time in a much more secure location in his base. 66% done, and climbing on that factory there at the back of his base. And one saving grace for him as well is the fact that that horde of hoplites has been thinned out. We've only got 2 now in this body of troops, the egg roll. That was really hurting Aulex. A rank of veterancy restores yet another chunk, so that brings him back up to 77,000, or 7,700 HP, sorry. 80 points, kill points on that comm. Egg roll is on 27 points, and that's 8,800 hit points on that comm currently for him. Two armies just feeding each other out now, but major air control for the moment from the egg roll. I'm quite surprised he hasn't switched up to get more aggressive with his air force, get some more T1 bombers in there. They could really make a mess of this main base. We've only got this one tracer in here. If he gets in here and starts taking out some of this power, could cause major damage. We've got another energy storage here, and that should take out one or two of these T1 P-Gens if he was able to kill that off. Taking a look at Eco, Aulex is actually ahead. I'm wondering if Eggroll is bottlenecking. No, he's not. So Aulex ahead on mass. That's quite surprising when you consider what the Eggroll has managed to achieve in the last 5 minutes of the game or so. But now we've got some T2 units on the field for Aulex, the first of which is a banger. That's causing all kinds of problems for these T1 Interceptors, these Prowlers for the Eggroll. This group of Inties up here, out of power, or out of fuel I should say, just getting brutalized by that mobile flak. And once again, the com-on-com action ensues. Eggroll having replenished his force of hoplites, forcing Aulex once again to give up yet more territory. Aulex just hovering by that pond there, pond that is deep enough to submerge an ACU, so we do have pockets around the map where ACUs can get in there and hide. But yet another rank of veterancy, and that should be the final one there for Aulex. There we go, 5 stars. 47 hit points a second flying back onto that com, but no more chunks of HP will be restored from kills. So that is it now for Aulex. He needs to be really careful from here on in. He's got about 6,000 hit points on the tank there, and that's a lot of purple Cybran junk coming his way. He needs to be really careful he doesn't overexpose himself to enemy fire here. He's trying to get some T1 PD up in the corner there, but that was unsuccessful. Hoplites dealing with those engineers very efficiently indeed. Aulex now into the red, 3,500 hit points. He ducks below the waves. Another unit of PD he's trying to complete back over here, and he has to keep distracting this force to give the engineers enough time to get that online, but I'd be surprised if he's going to manage it. ACU ducks back under the waves once again, and there goes yet another PD not allowed to be completed. We do have a couple of hoplites on the field now for Aulex, but oh my god, 2,300 hit points. He needs to be so much more careful than he's being. All it takes is to get hung up on a unit, and that is the end of your game. Can't get back into the water in time. The Eggroll looking pretty healthy still, 9,200 hit points there. And now we could have a breach into the main base. Yes, we have units of build capacity working on more T1 PD, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. In comes a hail of hoplite fire. Well, actually, I may have spoken too soon. Indeed I did. Enough hoplites now coming out from Aulex's base to help repel that. I think that corner wall section that ate about 900 hit points of hoplite fire just managed to save the day there. Engineers getting just enough wall sections up to block some of that incoming fire. But it's so amusing, like there's nothing going on this side of the map. We've had a few back and forths with just a handful of units, but everything has taken place on this upper section of the map. Aulex caught outside of the pond once again. Nearly goes sub 1,000 hit points for about the second or third time in this game. Eggroll taking some ranged fire from 4 hoplites down here now, and he drops down to the yellow. It's the first time we've seen that for some time. 21.5 minutes gone in this one. Aulex knows he needs to be aggressive if he's going to stay in this one, but it's so tenuous, his grip on life right now. ACU absolutely battered. He must be putting fires out in the cockpit with his little handheld extinguisher. Eggroll now down to 6,000 HP. Aulex ducks back out of the water again to add a few extra shots onto the Eggroll, who's getting a lot of damage put on in here. Needs to be really careful. Remember, the death nuke on an ACU is 2,000, so he's going to kill Aulex. He's got to do it with over 2,000 hit points left on his comm, and he has given up so much there He's dropped from about 9.5k down to about 3.5 in those last few exchanges. Aulex does now have access to overcharge once again, of course, so using that ACU to good effect, picking off the units as and when he can, but Eggroll has taken a battering. Doesn't want to take his foot off the gas though and allow Aulex to get re-established. Aulex trying to get another PD up. Again, Eggroll desperately trying to stop him. Brings his ACU out of the water once again, but it's Aulex that goes first, and the Eggroll does not have enough hit points to withstand the blast, so he goes down as well. So a tie almost on the nose of 23 minutes. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, I gotta say, I quite like that map. I'd like to see more of those coming my way, please, gents. Short one today, I know, but I'm sort of easing back into it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. More to come from me in the future. I don't know if I'm going to get another one in this week or not. We'll see. No promises. But definitely going to try and get on the hobby horse in a more routine pattern next week. But anyway, in the meantime, as always, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.